Happy birthday, Taurus. It's your cosmic auntie. And this is going to be your general May monthly reading. So if you've had your birthday, I hope it was wonderful. And if it's still coming up, I hope it's just lovely. Okay? You are so special. And I hope you have a really beautiful day. All right. So Taurus, like, honestly, what a time, right? These eclipses, you just had the first eclipse of the season with the new moon in Taurus. So Taurus, it's interesting because the visual that I received before, like when I was tuning the cards to your energy and getting ready for the reading, is just like Spirit just kept handing me a bouquet. Like I just kept seeing a bouquet being presented, and also I was hearing the show must go on. The show must go on. But there was like this checkpoint and this like recognition and this like gift, you know, like it's a really interesting time. Also, the sun is coming up to conjunct Uranus, which has been moving through Taurus for the last like 5 years, I think, which we're coming into like the last decan of that transit. So it's almost like, what have you like uncovered? What have you learned? What have you like, the show must go on, you know? I know, like, there's probably some huge things that you have learned or that you have gone through that, you know, Uranus is like the rebellion. It's going to rupture. It's going to shake things up. It's going to electrify things, you know, Taurus. And so over the last 5 years, like what has happened? What have you learned about yourself? What have you uncovered? What have you discovered? What have you let go? What have you to make more room for what? And like how, like the show must take those anyway. Take this how you will, but good for you out there. Taurus constantly bouncing back. This is a very interesting transit. So reflect if that resonates. Okay, so let's jump into the cards because I'm very intrigued as to how, like, what kind of energy we can, you know, catch and chat about right now. So let's just get into these. And as I start shuffling, tune into your own intuition, okay? Like, you know yourself best. Please never give your power away. I want to design these readings like a tasting plate of energy, you know, like a buffet. Take what you want, leave the rest. Tarot's never supposed to tell you something you don't already know. So it'll hit a resonance and you'll just know, okay? And if it doesn't, don't make anything fit. Like I said, you are the expert of you. Let's see what's going on. It's like Taurus, the show must go on. And right? It had like Taurus, the absolute like testament to your power. Take those flowers and reflect on the strength and the ability of you to navigate probably some really intense pivots, challenges, like rug being pulled out of the under you kind of thing. And pulling deep from the wellspring of you and discovering like the power of you, like the true power of you. Like there's been such crazy beautiful transformations that is happening within the Taurus archetype that is being shared with the collective. We all have Taurus somewhere, right? Taurus is our planet. Taurus is the influence of Venus. So we all have this in our own unique way. With like really, you know, strong Taurus placements, like these are going to be hitting in all different unique areas of your life, but like there's been huge changes happening within the Taurian archetype. Taurus is being reminded of the power of nature, of earth. You know, there's a fixed sign, right? You're fixed energy, you're solid, you're steady, you are true, you put everything you got into, you know, one, you know, building really strong thing, like, you know, Taurus, tilling the fields, but the ox has shirked the cart, and the freedom of like the influence of Uranus is like, whoa. And so growing into that energy and having things change on you, and when you're, often can be very comfortable in an uncomfortable position, and that's just like not going to do for Taurus. So within the last 5 years, what have you experienced and what have you learned about yourself? What have you been like really amazed at? Like, we're like the grit. Okay, finally we got some cards here. Okay, so we've got the Muse of Voices, which is the King of Swords, kind of at that level. Interesting. The Knight of Inspiration, so the Knight of Wands. This is the Muse deck. Super beautiful. We have the Death card, right? And Taurus, your opposite is Scorpio. So these eclipses, these are happening in your axis for the next like few months. Like the first one was this last new moon, and the next one is going to be this full moon in Scorpio. So huge shift. So like, man, like the show must go. The Four of Materials, the Four of Coins, and the 10 of Materials, the 10 of Coins. Yeah. This energy is so big, Taurus. It's so hard to put into words. It's like the notion of like, okay, like show off what you have learned. Like, this is like a testament to your grit, this energy or something, right? Like, because what's showing in the cards is there's this tenacity to move towards new experiences and like go for it, right? And I keep hearing that like Macy, I think it's Macy Gray, where it's like, I get knocked. No, it's, yes. Sorry, I was like thinking it's two songs that I was gonna do, but that's like, I think something Mason, I get knocked down, but I get up again, And then there's a Macy Gray one too. Now I've just lost it. Anyway, it'll come to me, but you'll probably know what I'm talking about. That's what's playing in my head right now. So if things are challenging and like, just, there's such an, I'm so sorry, Taurus. I'm going to do my best to like conceptualize this energy. I honestly just hope that if you just resonate, then it's just going to hit in that resonance, because dang, there's such a evolution and growth and wisdom when it comes to articulating yourself and your experiences and what you want and what you think, which is feeling like absolute, like, I just heard divine defiance. Like, Taurus, there's things that I sense that you've been shaken off that are not, you just like, oxen shirk the cart. Maybe you don't want to do that kind of thing anymore, right? Like, and it's like this whole 5-year process, this kind of transit is really like helping us all. Like Taurus Taurus teaches us about ourselves, what we have, our resources. Oh, someone wants to say hi. Sorry, Taurus. You have to be off to the side. Oh man, so sorry. I just kind of lost where I was going. But yeah, so like, back to the articulate. Sorry, my cat just threw me off there. Right. So you like it shirked the cart. There's things that you've dropped, right? That just don't like fit into where you're going and you're charging in. Like, Like, it's like this is brought, like, how many times have you been brought to the freaking brink in the last 5 years, Taurus? Because for those of you who have strong Taurus placements, like, I would sense that you have like Taurus sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mars, or however you're exploring that energy. But for the collective, Taurus teaches about our resources, like what we personally have, like our grit, our energy, our our senses, our unique expression in the physical world, how we go about growing things, and like our I just want to keep saying grit. Like, I really feel that the archetype of Taurus has been there's been an element of reconnecting with the Taurian grit, right? Like, and nature is not to be messed with. So Taurus, you are ruled by Venus, but I also feel like you're ruled by the earth. The earth has seasons and shifts and seasons within seasons and cycles, and there's so much, and like there's a beautiful like unfurling pattern to it all, but it's also chaotic and different and shifting at all times. It's has different expressions and different elements, and like there's so many, I think, fine details that I sense, Taurus, that you're filling out in yourself again, like, and it's really required a lot of like control within the chaos, right? Like, death is nature, death, life, rebirth, birth, all of this, right? And reconnecting with that natural aspect in yourself, and that flow, and that, again, grit. And this is just such beautiful, like, I feel Taurian energy, where there's this like element of like constraint to build, constraint to abundance. And that's not constraint as you're withholding things from yourself. No, like, this is, remember, there's a certain like filling out your energy in a larger sense, Taurus. So again, back to those 5 years, and we have 5 cards, okay? So like there's something with that. And with these eclipses in this on your axis, it's like this finale before the freaking catapult into the foundation that you have been building for yourself. And the last like couple months, Taurus, it's gone from, right, like there's been this layers of nostalgia to like allow those parts to decay, to create fertilization for, what was it, like a couple months ago, the growth potential. And I think it was January, it was like the beginning of the year, and then it went into a bulb and a seed deep in the fertile earth, right? And then the next month I saw, they were like, the image that I received was beautiful, fresh, like raised garden beds. And yeah, then I kind of laid low for a little while, because these eclipses are powerful, and we kind of just, the cosmic energy and the natural shifts of energy just kind of wash through, and we can just allow ourselves to be parts of it all, right? That's really a way to work with eclipses, because they're quite potent. So there's been this like unfurling journey, right, Taurus? And you've been preparing, and there's this like kind of, yeah, gift being given, like, here, bouquet of roses. Okay, Taurus, it's your time. What kind of flowers do you like to receive? What are your favorite flowers, right? Maybe that could be helpful, because all of a sudden I just felt like I needed to take a really deep breath, because it's like, whew, like none of this is easy, but it's also, there's such a cathartic release and freedom to it that's just like, oh, right, Taurus? So if it's like getting to be a bit overwhelming, remember that bouquet being offered. What's your favorite kind of flower to receive? What kind of flower do you resonate with? What kind of flower could you, like, you know, do you really like to like stare at? Because Spirit is giving you that, like, there's a checkpoint here, and I know the eclipses can be intense, it can be a lot. It's that moment where you're like, bring it. Like, what do you want to let go of? Like, eclipses will take out that, like, it'll take it out, and it'll also help you call it in. So there's like a real, I just saw someone bringing kind of like garbage to the curb, right? Like, so there's that too. Like, what's going, what has gone, like, what have you learned, what is fertilizing the growth potential. So yeah, going back to that, like, it's just, I just keep seeing someone bringing their, like, garbage to the curb. So like, that can be something that can be really helpful and just taken with the eclipse season, and it's just kind of like, so this is super interesting, Taurus. I just keep coming back to this. I just don't think that there's any more cards. Like, I think the 5 is really important to reflect on. Also, it's May, the 5th month. So, oh, and guess what, Taurus? They were stuck together with, like, static. They kind of, like, shocked apart, which is definitely, like, Uranus energy. Uranus represents electricity. This is so interesting. So there is another card, which is, okay, this is such an interesting, I'm bouncing a lot. I hope that, I mean, I'm not too hard to follow, Taurus. But yeah, so behind the 4 of materials is, there it is, the 9 of voices. The 9 of swords. It's this notion of, I just keep feeling this, like, need to take a deep breath, because it's, like, fast, and there's an element of just, like, well, anxiety, of like, worry, of, again, constriction in another sense, right? So Taurus, you can really work with, like, so you want to grow something, and you observe and take witness of the resources you have at that time. And you have an incredible ability to work with what you got to build more. So there's an element of, like, constraint with your resources at that time to build more. So I sense that with the garden beds, the growth of, there's so much that you are letting go of, bringing your awareness to, raising up, building, preparing for, and as that notion of, like, I just heard, like, tilling your own fields, right? There's, like, an ability of, like, a tendril of the past to be able to kind of come up and present itself again, right? To what is being let go of, because when you free yourself, it can feel very bizarre to have so much more air to breathe and more space to fill out. So, you know, I just heard sneaky little thoughts can come in that can create a certain second guessing kind of energy, right? So that's interesting. That was just, like, hiding. It was stuck. It was, like, literally electrocuted. Like, it was statically stuck to this card. So it's really interesting, Taurus, because it's like, I can sense that perhaps you're not letting this take up too much space in your life anymore, right? Like, you're aware of it. It's there, and really working with what you've got, and to create more, to build abundance, to build stability. And there's, I just sense that there's, like, yeah, there's just an aware, like, maybe that's part of the finale of demonstrating what you've learned through all the things that you've experienced thus far, especially in the last 5 years, but thus far, Taurus. And challenging those thoughts, even though they're there, and they may like irritate a bit, and like they're there. So just keep bringing your awareness to it, working with what you've got. And there's something, I feel like I can't find the words to articulate it, but there's one more thing that I have to say about this, but I just can't seem to find the words right now. But let me just... allocating jobs. That's allocating jobs for this energy so that it's busy. So this is kind of like, yeah, cerebral energy, right? And this is a real test of your grit to believe in yourself, Taurus, and to showcase that, and to express that, to challenge, to share, like to challenge those notions of bringing you back to those places, those little voice that we're talking about, challenging that. This is very much Muse of Voices, like King of Swords, a certain like wisdom of self, of mind, of expression, and filling out your space more. And look at them dancing. Like, look at this. Look, they're filling out every aspect of this card, Taurus. And I can tell that you are absolutely intent at like running towards what, like, just the potential, like running towards the feeling, this. Look at this card. Look how beautiful and majestic. Like, just there's a notion of like, through the hard times, this vision of what can be something more creative and exciting. And honestly, I just keep hearing a life of ease. What that means, like working to create more ease and enjoyment. And that, like, comes with like change. And there's just, Taurus, again, what kind of bouquet do you want to receive? Because this is some huge stuff. It's beautiful. It's like this whole self-worth. This whole self-worth, like coming home to self and like falling in love with yourself and remembering your ability to accomplish things, to literally move mountains, to you have the power, right? You are earth, to really work with the elements of this gorgeous planet. And you would teach us all. And that includes our bodies, ourself, our sovereignty, you know, and our tenacity, Taurus. It's also a story of calling back your energy and freeing yourself from constraints that don't suit you, that maybe suit others. I mean, you get the job done. You are so loving as well, and you have huge capacity to carry. And there's shirk the cow. Bye. There goes the cow. There goes the bull, running in the open field. Remembering how powerful and fast, but also how gentle and chill the bull can be. So happy birthday. Keep rising up, Taurus. Keep like bringing things to the curb. You want these eclipses to take so that there's room for what you have been building to really take to take root and to take form, and to, so that you're springboarding into this next chapter, because you're on your way, Taurus. Like, I don't even know. Think of that bouquet. Happy birthday, right? Happy birthday. It's a bouquet of flowers. Abundance, growth. You deserve it all. You deserve all the beautiful things, and the way that you share with community, and if the way that you are receiving from your community too. There's been a lot of changes to the people around you, the groups, and the way that you like respect your energy, and the way that you want to share it, and the way that you want to receive reciprocity. Taurus, this is huge. I hope this has been helpful in some way. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your season, and happy birthday once more. And again, eclipses, just lay low and think about what you're bringing to the curb and what you're wanting to grow, okay? And just feel it, vibe it, send it into space, okay? Eclipses do what they do.